Hello. Today we will be preparing to go out on the field to help the Santa Cruz Water District monitor the health of our beautiful San Lorenzo River, the main source of our water, which is delivered clean and fresh to our homes every day. To help us record our findings on our exploration, we will use this journal, this river journal. Many scientists and explorers use a journal to show and tell what they have discovered. This is how they collect their data. The most famous journals were kept by Lewis and Clark when they were sent by Thomas Jefferson to explore the land west of the Missouri River after the Louisiana Purchase. Their journals were full of valuable information. They made maps, then they drew and wrote very good descriptions about the people, the plants, and animals they discovered as they searched for a path to the Pacific Ocean. Please put your name and your date on your journal. The date is important because the river is always changing throughout the year. Write legibly so your data can be shared. In the beginning of the journal, you will find pages to record the measurements and lots of data. Just like a river doctor, checking its temperature, clarity, and flow. There are pages we will work on together. These are the pages here. Of course, you're going to want to start with the exact location, which is Henry Cowell State Park on this particular journal here. And you're going to want to put the time. The time is important because the river is always changing, even throughout the day. It actually even depends on the weather. So the weather is important too to have in here. It is important to use all of our senses when we are out there to record our observations. We're going to be looking closely, listening, smelling, paying attention to what is around us. And we're going to be looking for diversity. Different types of trees and plants is a good sign of a healthy stream. The same with animals. Do you see birds and insects? Maybe we scared some of the animals away. Let's look for some evidence. Do you see tracks, scat, feathers, fur, bones, or nests? Draw and write about your observations here in this journal on these pages. We're going to use good descriptive words to help other people see and hear and smell the things that we have noticed. On page 9 and 10, you're going to find an identification guide. This is going to help you identify some of the animals and plants that you might find out on the San Lorenzo River. One of the very most important things when you're trying to identify things is what is the shape of things, like the leaves, the shape of the leaves, or the shape of the birds. You can see here that the birds have different shapes of beaks and bills. Some of them have very short beaks, like the hawk. It has a short, curved beak. And some of them have longer, strong beaks that help them open seeds and peck on trees, like the woodpecker. So what we're going to do when we get ready to go out on the field is we're going to learn how to do a contour drawing. A contour drawing helps us capture the shape of the things that we're going to see out there. So if you turn to your next page, you're going to find on page 12 and 13 two empty pages. And for that, we're going to use this first page, to take a close look at our friend, the great horned owl. The great horned owl is very common across the United States. If you look close, you can see it has some very special features that help it capture its prey. It's a bird of prey, and so it has a very curved, round beak to help it peck and open up the carcasses that it's caught. And you can see its very large tail ends. That's how it captures its prey. It swoops down and it grabs its prey with its talons. So to begin to show you how to do a contour drawing, I'm going to demonstrate, and then you can draw along with me, taking a very close look at the great horned owl. So on your empty sheet of paper, We're going to take our pencil and we're going to begin moving our pencil around very, very slowly. Imagine a tiny little ladybug crawling around the outline of what you see in the shape of the owl. So I'm going to start up on top. You can start anywhere you'd like. And I'm going to draw what I see, keeping my hand and my eyes moving together. I'm looking and I'm also drawing very, very slowly. I'm trying to capture the shape of exactly what I'm seeing. The owl has a long tail. I'm going to come up. And I'm going to keep going around. I'm going to try to capture its talons. Look at those very pointed claws. They're so powerful. They can swoop down and they can even pick up rabbits, frogs. Even they've been known to hunt skunks. There's not many things that hunt skunks. The great horned owls are very powerful hunters. Okay, so when I get my basic shape in there, I can come back and start doing some of the details of the things that I'm seeing. As you can see, the owl has very large eyes. It's a nocturnal animal, and that helps the owl see at night. And then its long, curved, little short curved beak, actually. Very sharp at the edge. You can see the folded feathers here. So I'm going to let you get started on your drawing. And I'm going to move my pencil, my marker away, and you're going to be able to take a look at the owl, and you're going to put your pencil and your paper together, and you're going to do a contour and try to draw the details that you see here, okay? I'm going to draw over here in this corner while you're drawing too. Go very slowly so that you can capture the shape as well as you can. We call this front part of the face a disc. Go very slowly and let your hand and your eye work together. You can see the tufts of its feathers. Those aren't actually its ears, and they're not actually its horns, but they're feathers. Its ear holes are just beneath those feathers, and they can hear very, very well. They can see at night. That's why they have such large eyes. Put those details in once you're done. Sometimes people call this the tiger owl because it's such a powerful hunter. Are you moving very slowly and trying to capture the background, the shape? Once you get that shape in, you can start showing some of the details. You can see that it's got a lot of little lines across it. That helps it get camouflaged. So I'm going to just use my marker. You can use your pencil to show those dark areas. as a good scientist, you're going to want to capture some of the details. You only have a pencil, you don't have colors, so you might want to help people understand exactly what you're seeing by describing some of the colors that you're seeing. So once you get a nice little drawing in there that shows the shape, and let's put a little bit of detail about its background. We can see that it's sitting up on a tree, so you might want to add that. We know that the owls like to sit up in the trees during the days. They sleep there, and then at night they go out and they're hunting. And you can start writing some of the details. How would you describe the colors that you're seeing? Well, the eyes, they're very interesting, aren't they? How would you describe that color? There's a lot. You could just say yellow, but there's other ways too. We could describe the eyes as, how about saying that they're amber yellow? And then it has a white tuft at its neck, doesn't it? It's a very white tuft. So you could say it's milky white or it's snowy white. How would you describe some of the browns and different colors that you're seeing? I like to think of it as maybe like some chocolates. Some of the very, very light parts are like caramel chocolate, like caramels, and some of the darker areas are like darker chocolates. You can see around the eyes, it's pretty dark here, so we can put that in. But we can write these colors in so that people know what we're seeing. The beak is pretty dark colored. So we can describe that and the talons as being dark gray. And hopefully in your drawing you show that they're quite sharp. Now make sure that you label this animal. If you don't know the name of the animal that you have drawn as a contour drawing, if you've got a good shape, then you can go back to your guides, some different field guides. Your teacher should have some guides too. And you can look up and see what kind of plant or animal that you have found. If you find a leaf, you could actually just put that down on your paper and you could trace around it. I'm going to give you another minute or so to go ahead and capture this owl. And that's how we're going to be going out onto the field and really drawing and looking closely at the things we see, and using good descriptions to capture and show people that what we're seeing too.